Folks, welcome to this special episode where we're doing something a bit different. A tag team discussion all about the Golden State Warriors and their upcoming free agency decisions. Big shout out to Maritime for the request. I've seen a few fans online say, hey, we had Randy on one episode, Arthur on another. Why not bring them together to break down the Warriors basketball scene? So here we are, diving deep into the nuts and bolts of the Warriors roster, salary cap, and who they should realistically be targeting in free agency. I love this dynamic because Arthur is the more level-headed, sensible voice when it comes to salary cap math and contract realities, while I sometimes float pie-in-the-sky ideas. It's a good balance. The practical meets the hopeful, and together we could try to figure out how the Warriors can construct a championship-caliber roster in today's complicated NBA financial landscape. First things first, let's get everyone on the same page about who the Warriors are losing this offseason. It's important because the cap space they clear up will dictate what kinds of free agents they can chase. The Warriors are losing some key players and others who may or may not stick around, depending on the financial landscape. Among the free agents, Braxton Key, Kevin Knox II, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevin Looney, Gary Payton II, Quentin Post, Jeezy Santos, Pat Spencer, and Taron Armstrong all have varying degrees of uncertainty about their futures with the team. Of those, Looney stands out as someone who will probably be leaving. While he's been a beloved figure for Warriors fans, a key part of the franchise's recent success, and a gritty competitor, his value relative to the cap hit he commanded last year, around $9 million, makes it unlikely the team can afford to keep him at that price. You'd expect the Warriors would want to spend that money elsewhere, especially since Looney's limitations in playoff scenarios have become more apparent. His offensive game is limited, and in a league that increasingly demands versatility, the Warriors might look for younger, more dynamic players at the center position. Other players on the list, like Gary Payton II, might also be hard to retain unless they accept a significantly reduced salary. I've seen a lot of talk about GP2, especially after his strong performances in some recent games. If the Warriors can keep him for around $4 to $5 million, I'd be comfortable with that, but anything more than that, and the money might be better spent on other assets. On the flip side, some of the younger players with potential, like Braxton Key and Kevin Knox, haven't quite proven enough to justify major contracts. Braxton Key, for example, brings elite defense, something the Warriors desperately need, but his offensive struggles, like missing multiple layups in a row during the Houston series, limit his value. It's sad because his defensive potential was really promising, but the Warriors need players who can contribute on both ends, especially during the playoffs. Now, who should the Warriors prioritize re-signing? For me, it's Jonathan Kuminga without question. He represents not only the present, but the future of this team. Kuminga isn't just a short-term role player. If they bring him back, it's going to be on a 4-year deal. He's not going to accept a 1 or 2-year deal. So the Warriors are essentially committing to him as a franchise cornerstone for the next decade. If that's the case, they need to build around him carefully to avoid becoming top-heavy and unbalanced. Look at teams like the Pacers or the Thunder. Their depth from the bench is what keeps them competitive. The Warriors have struggled with bench production, and that's an area that could make or break them. Looney's offensive struggles, Quentin Post's rookie shortcomings, and the inconsistent performances from GP2 and Knox all highlight this problem. Pat Spencer, who had a great G League run, is another interesting case. I love the energy and story he brings, but can you realistically rely on him in critical playoff moments when the team's star players are injured or struggling? Probably not. The same goes for Jeezy Santos, who brings hustle and energy, but remains a low-cost player with limited impact. I do hope to see more from him next season, especially since he's on a modest contract, making him a low-risk asset for the Warriors. One thing I find curious is the uncertainty surrounding Kuminga's loyalty. Given the perceived disrespect he's felt from the coaching staff and organization, it's unclear if he truly wants to stay long-term. Some believe he might eventually want out, despite the Warriors likely tendering a qualifying offer to maintain his restricted free agent status. There's talk they might keep him without trading this offseason, waiting until they can maximize his salary base here before potentially moving him at the trade deadline. It's a complicated situation. Holding on to a young star who's not fully sold on the team can create tension, but it also preserves flexibility for the Warriors. As we shift to free agency targets, we need to be brutally realistic. Let's face it, the Warriors don't have the cap space to chase LeBron James or other superstars who command max deals. LeBron opting out and coming to Golden State? Highly unlikely. That's just not the financial or competitive reality, even if we all love to imagine it. The Warriors need to build smartly around Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson's twilight years, supplementing with players who fit the system and can contribute meaningful minutes without breaking the bank. There are a few intriguing names on the free agent list this year, but many are veterans or role players who may or may not fit the Warriors' specific needs. Chris Middleton, for example, could be an interesting fit, but he and Draymond Green play similar positions. You could try to slide Middleton into the 3 spot and Draymond at 4 or 5, but we know Draymond has been vocal about not wanting to play center. Middleton is also injury-prone, so that's a risk. Julius Randle is another high-cost player coming off a big payday and a strong playoff showing against the Warriors. He's probably too expensive and doesn't fit the Warriors' style. John Collins and Brook Lopez are more realistic targets. Brook Lopez especially stands out. Despite being 37, Lopez has shown remarkable durability over the past decade, missing only a handful of games each year outside of one major injury. His three-point shooting ability has actually improved with age, and he fits the Warriors system, well, even if he's not the elite rim protector or rebounder some might hope for. Lopez also has local ties, having gone to Stanford, which might increase his willingness to take a pay cut for another championship run. That could make him a top target for the Warriors this offseason. Clint Capella is another option, though he doesn't fit the Warriors' style quite as well, and he's likely to command a higher salary than the Warriors want to pay. He's no longer the defensive force he was a few years ago and might not be a starter-level player. I know people have talked about Steven Adams too. He recently signed a 3-year deal worth about $40 million, roughly $13 million a year, which is similar to what the Warriors might offer other big men. Adams is a strong defender who can change the dynamics of a game, but his deal suggests the Warriors might not get him unless something changes. Miles Turner is one name that many fans want to see in a Warriors uniform. He's a $20 million per year player who excels as a stretch big with the ability to shoot threes and run pick and rolls. Turner would be a dream fit, but Indiana is committed to keeping their young core intact after a strong playoff run, and it seems unlikely they'll let him go. If Turner is off the table, a poor man's version might be Bobby Portis. He could be an affordable mid-level exception candidate, assuming the Warriors have that space after resigning Kuminga. Portis provides size, shooting, hustle, and championship experience, all of which are valuable for the Warriors system. Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis rank high on my wish list. Naz Reid is another free agent worth mentioning. He has a player option worth around $13 to $15 million and showed some good moments against the Warriors, playing a more physical style. He's similar to Quentin Post, but more seasoned. There's also Morris Wagner, who has been doing a solid job for Orlando, but is likely staying put. Al Horford is probably retiring or staying with Boston. Other centers like Andre Drummond and Dwight Powell might be available, but would serve more as bench pieces rather than starters. For wing players, the Warriors need strong 3 and D guys who can run the floor and fit their pace and space offense. Lindy Waters had a streaky season, but showed flashes, including hitting a clutch game winner in preseason. Fans want to see guys like DeAnthony Melton and Jay Crowder back, but health and roster spots will be factors. Klay Thompson's brother, Damian Lee, is still in the league, and there are rumors the Warriors might bring back players like Seth Curry to bolster shooting off the bench. Seth's affordable salary makes him a no-brainer if the Warriors want to add shooting and ball movement without breaking the bank. Lastly, a wild-card name like Russell Westbrook just opted out of his deal with the Nuggets and could be a value add if the Warriors want to experiment with a scoring punch off the bench. He wouldn't be a defensive stopper, but his ability to create offense and leadership could help, provided the Warriors can get him at the right price. If they had Westbrook, Bobby Portis, and a young 3 and D wing, the Warriors could put together a surprisingly competitive bench that complements their aging stars. The Warriors have a tricky balance to strike. They need young legs to keep up with the pace of the game, veteran savvy to close out tight games, and financial flexibility to make the best use of limited cap space. This upcoming season could very well be the last real championship run for Curry, Draymond, and Klay together, so the stakes are high to get it right. With some smart signings and a bit of luck, the Warriors can remain contenders, but they need to avoid overpaying for big names that don't fit or piling on too much salary in one spot. Instead, they'll have to build a balanced roster that can play fast, shoot well, and defend aggressively. So that's the lay of the land. What do you think? Would you give Kuminga that long-term contract? Are Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis realistic targets for the Warriors? Or should they look elsewhere? Who are your favorite free agents this offseason? And what do you think the Warriors' best-case scenario looks like? Let's keep this conversation going. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Whispers are swirling in the NBA circles as Steve Kerr seemingly bids farewell to Buddy Hield, sparking intense speculation about the sharpshooter's future. Sources close to the Golden State Warriors camp hint at a possible parting of ways, with many eyes turning toward the Oklahoma City Thunder as the potential new home for Hield. While nothing official has been confirmed, the murmurs are growing louder, suggesting that Kerr may be ready to let the talented guard explore fresh opportunities beyond the Bay Area. Buddy Hield, known for his lethal three-point shooting and solid offensive contributions, has been an intriguing figure for Warriors fans and analysts alike. However, with the team's evolving dynamics and roster adjustments, it seems Kerr might be contemplating a reshuffle that could see Hield on the move. Oklahoma City Thunder, a franchise in the midst of a rebuilding phase but hungry for proven talent, emerges as a fitting destination for Hield's skills. The Thunder's young core could greatly benefit from Hield's experience and scoring ability, adding depth and perimeter threat that might accelerate their competitive trajectory. The rumor mill suggests this potential transition isn't just about basketball strategy, but also a matter of mutual growth. Kerr reportedly wishes Hield nothing but success and happiness, a sentiment that underlines the respect and professionalism within the Warriors' locker room. Could this be a strategic move from Kerr's side, allowing Buddy to flourish in a new environment while Golden State retools for the future? The possibility of Hield thriving in Oklahoma City, away from the spotlight-heavy pressure of the Warriors, adds a compelling narrative to this unfolding story. While both franchises remain tight-lipped, the NBA community is buzzing with theories about the timing and nature of such a trade or signing. Could the Thunder be preparing a trade package that appeals to the Warriors? Or is this more of an open-door scenario, where Hield's contract status might play a key role in his next chapter? The speculation also touches on how this move might impact the Warriors' backcourt rotation and what it signals for Kerr's vision going forward. As the summer progresses, fans and analysts will undoubtedly keep a close watch on Buddy Hield's status. The prospect of him donning the Thunder's jersey brings a wave of excitement and curiosity. Will this rumored farewell be the start of a new journey for Hield, one that reignites his career and injects fresh energy into Oklahoma City's rebuilding ambitions? Only time will tell, but for now, the whispers of Steve Kerr's parting words echo loudly across the league. May Buddy be happy in Oklahoma City. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.